Hello, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about macros. So macros, if it fits your macros, if it fits my macros, that might be a term that you've heard thrown around YouTube or Instagram, and you know, it's pretty basic. Macros just means, you know, the macronutrients that make up the calories that are in our foods, so protein, fat, and carbs. So you know, macros is something that I've been doing pretty much for the past year, on and off. I take breaks, you know, when I get sick and tired of it, but it's something that when I first started doing it, I was like, what the heck? Like, what is this? This is so difficult. And I truly think that I was just putting a lot more thought into it than really necessary. You know, if you have an app like MyFitnessPal or IIFYM, it'll do it all for you. And then there's these awesome tools like on Katy Hearn's website, and there's some other awesome websites that have the macro calculator, so you can, you know, put in your height, your weight, your age, your gender, and it just generates you know, a recommended you know, set macros for you. And those are tools that I personally really like. So, you know, there's like the more traditional way of calculating your macros as well, and you can do like the whole total daily energy expenditure calculation formula, and you can, you know, put your height and your weight in there and do all that, and it pretty much generates a very similar number. And I just like the online tools because I do really feel that they, for the most part, are accurate, and it's just a lot simpler that way as well. So, you know, when we're talking about protein, a lot of people say, you know, 1 gram per pound, which is kind of like a standard rule in the bodybuilding world. Depending on how much you weigh, like, I think that's a little bit much. I would say like 0.8, around 0.825 is like a good ratio, to be honest. It's just a little less than one gram per pound, so I think you can live with that. And then fats, for me, I generally go with like the 25 to 30% rule, and then with carbs, like, I just fill everything else in with that. And then, yeah, so MyFitnessPal and IIFYM are like super great tools. You can fill all of the information, all of your macros, once you've gone online or once you've done the calculation yourself. You just put all that information into MyFitnessPal. I think you actually have to pay to do it on MyFitnessPal. I'm not really sure how that works, but I know IIFYM is really great, and you can just adjust everything right there in the app. And it's super easy. Like, you can literally just like scan with your camera the barcode of everything that you eat and type in the serving size that you had, and it calculates everything for you. So I love to do it that way. And then with counting macros too, like, I just think it's like a really easy, foolproof way of dieting. And something that I would suggest is like maybe taking a week or two and just like eating normally and scanning things on IIFYM and MyFitnessPal, and like looking to see like how much you're currently eating now and how that is affecting your weight, your body, your sleep, how you look, stuff like that. And then also like tracking your water too. That's like super important, and I love using IIFYM or MyFitnessPal or whatever for that, just to make sure I get enough water in too. It's a great tool. And then another thing when it comes to macros, it's not really smart, you know, like, macros are very individual to each person. That it factors in your height, your age, your weight, your activity level. So when you see like someone else on Instagram or on YouTube and they look great and they have like a certain amount of macros, like, it's not really like smart or functional to go ahead and copy their macros, because chances are you're not that person and you don't look exactly like them and you don't have the same body type as them. So copying their exact macros will actually do you a lot more harm than good. And another tip when it comes to tracking macros, I would say when you first start out, weigh and measure all of your food, or at least as much as possible. Like, I know eating out, you're not just gonna like bring a scale to the table and be like, all right, waiter, like, weigh my food on my table for me, like, I gotta count my macros. no, like that's not real life. So, you know, we're going to be realistic here. So when you can, I would at least try to, you know, get a food scale and try to weigh or measure out as much food as you can. I just think it's like a really great way to make sure that you are getting enough food, or you're not like putting too big of a portion on your plate, because a lot of times we could be underestimating or overestimating our portion sizes. And like a tablespoon of peanut butter versus like a quarter cup of peanut butter is going to be like a huge difference when it comes to like calories and fat and all that. So that's just another tip that I have. And honestly, when it comes to tracking your macros, I would just suggest, you know, take it easy. Don't be so hard on yourself. Like it's your macros like aren't the end of the world if you don't hit it exactly. Like I 9 out of 10 times don't hit my numbers like to the exact point. So yeah, definitely don't be hard on yourself. Like it's not that big of a deal. It's definitely just a guideline and a suggestion. And I would say, like, if you're within like 1 to 5, you know, numbers away from like hitting your macros, I would say like that's like a really good place to be. And yeah, just like don't overthink it, because honestly, like when I first started out, I was really overthinking it and making the process like extremely harder than it needed to be. And with, like I said, with the tools like the online macros calculator and LifeSum and MyFitnessPal, it just makes it really foolproof and easy for you. So I will definitely link those resources down below, and I would definitely check them out, because like I said, it's super simple. Once you get the hang of it, don't overthink it. So these were just some super quick tips and basics on tracking macros, how to track your macros. So also, if you guys have any questions about tracking macros, how to track your macros, definitely leave that in the comments below, and I will answer any questions and all the questions that you have. I love when you guys have questions for me. Like, I love it so much. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content if you haven't already. And I love you so much. Thank you so much. And I will see you in the next one.